Soundarya Lahari, verse number 30. Swadehodbhutabhihi घृणिभिरनिमाद्याभिरभितः स्वदेहोद्भूताभिः घृणिभि अणिमाद्याभिरभितः निषेव्ये नित्ये त्वाम् अहमिति सदा भावयति यः निषेवे नित्ये त्वाम् अहमिति सदा भावयति यः किमाश्चर्यं तस्य त्रिनयनसमृद्धिं तृणयतः किमाश्चर्यं तस्य त्रिनयनसमृद्धिं तृणयतः महासंवर्ताग्निः विरचयति नीराजनविधिं महासंवर्ताग्निः विरचयति नीराजनविधिम्. Adi Shankaracharya is known to the world more as a profound advocate of Advaita philosophy. Actually, whenever people say Advaita, though it was there before him also, he is considered as the greatest proponent of Advaita. Advaitins also have meditations. They meditate on four sentences called Mahavakyas. So these are Aham Brahmasmi, Prajnanam Brahma, etc. Thvamahamithi. So that is one system of meditation, Jnana Marga and Advaita Marga. Whereas Soundarya Lahari is a Shakta text, Shakti, related to Shakti and Tantra. Here we find a beautiful synchronization of two great and powerful systems of emancipation, that is Shakta on one hand and Advaita on the other hand. Here he is superimposing an Advaitic meditation on a Tantric meditation. Let us see how he does it. Here he asks us to meditate her on the form which is prescribed in Lalita Sahasranama. In Lalita Sahasranama, there is a Dhyana Shloka called Arunam Karunatarangitakshim. She is in red color and Karunatarangitakshim. The grace is emanating from her eyes, and she is holding those four weapons in her arm. Dhruta Pashankusha Pushpabana Hastam. She has a bow, then the arrows, then the pasha, that is the rope, and ankusha, that is the one to restrain used to restrain the elephants. So with those in four hands, then more important is this part. Animaa adhibhiravrutam mayukhaihi. There is lot of rays, bright rays emanating from her, and she is surrounded by anima adhibhiravrutam. Anima, there are Ashta Siddhis: Anima, Mahima, Lakhima, Garima, Praptitvam, Prakamyam, Isitvam, Vasitvam. These are 8 Siddhis. So in essence, you meditate her as the central deity of Sri Chakra, surrounded by these Siddhi Devatas who are like rays emanating from her. So we should not forget that is the important part of meditation. She is there in the Bindu, central part of the Shri Chakra, and surrounded by a lot of devotees, among which other gods, among which these Siddhi Devatas, Ashta Siddhi Devatas are surrounded. And then this is the Tantric meditation on Sri Chakra. Whereas here he imposes the Vedantic part of the meditation, that is ahamityeva vibhavaye mahishim. Ahamityeva, you are I, that means you are I. That they see the devotee who sees no difference between him and Devi, that is the Advaita. So how do we do that? So we visualize Devi in the above said fashion, Arunam Karuna Tarangitakshim, and surrounded by animaa dhiviraavrutam mayukaihi. Then we meditate, we superimpose the Vedantic meditation. So we keep looking at the Devi in the above shloka, and as you take breath you say so, and as you exhale you say hum. As you inhale you say so hum, so hum, so hum. So when somebody meditates upon this, then what is the benefit? The benefit is this man is conferred Kimaascharyam. What is surprise in it? When he looks down upon the wealth of Trinayana. Trinayana is Sadashiva, so the one with 3 8. So he looks down upon the Aishwarya. Ishvara himself, the very word Ishvara comes because he confers Aishwarya on us. Whereas this Bhakta, who meditates on Devi with Advaitic concept, that there is no difference between him and this one, he gets Aishwarya even more than Ishvara. Not only that, at the time of great deluge, Mahapralaya, when the entire creation is reduced to ashes by Samvarthaagnirvirachayathi is the fire at the great deluge. Virachayathi Neeraajanavidhim, it consumes all creation, and the only one, even including the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, but only the Kameshwara, the Nirguna aspect of Shiva, he is the only one who survives, and the only other one who survives is the devotee who meditates on Devi as in an Advaitic form with the feeling of Soham, that Devi is the devotee and devotee is Devi. That non-dualistic Advaitic concept, whosoever meditates, then he gets all the riches much above what Ishvara has. And not only that, he does not perish even in the great deluge, when even the Trinity perish. So that kind of a Advaitic worship confers such a high achievement. It is actually, when we read the Bhavanitvam Shlokam, she gives you Sayujya Mukti the moment you say Bhavanitvam. So there is no difference for between her and you. But then there is a slight difference here. You watch her being along with the Devi a witness to the great deluge. So the one, this great fire, Mahaasamvarthaagnirvirachayathi, which is reducing everything ashes, does not even touch the devotee, and not only touch the devotee, it is as if it is offering a camphor harati to the devotee who is standing just next to Bhagavati. So he gets such a highest position, which, allegorically Shankaracharya even puts above Ishvara. There is another important message in this, which is not so overt. The message is that these devatas who confer such great siddhis like animaa, mahima, garima, lakhima and all, they are in the periphery of the Sri Chakra. When people start worshipping Sri Chakra and get these siddhis depending upon their sincerity and hard work, they should not get carried away, because they are nothing but the rays emanating from the Bhagavati. So if you get enchanted with some of these siddhis, because when you display these siddhis, people become have a great awe and respect for you and adore you as a god. So if you fall for them, then that is, you have fallen from your main purpose of Sri Chakra Aradhana, that is merging one with Devi. So in this meditation there is an underlying caution that don't get carried away with the siddhis and focus upon Devi and in a non-dualistic emotion, that is Soham. Then just for the sake of detail, what are these Ashtasiddhis? Animaa Siddhi. Animaa means one becomes very small as the smallest particle. You can see this in Srimad Ramayana, when Hanuman becomes very small and goes into the demon called Surasa. She obstructs him and says, unless I swallow you, you cannot go. So he goes into her and as a very tiny this one, and then comes back, of course. So similarly, when he goes to see Sita Mata in the Ashokamana in this one, he becomes very small and escapes attention of all those Rakshasas who are there put on, who are protecting the Ashokamana. Similarly, Mahima Siddhi is, they become very big. The typical example is the Vamana Avatara, when Mahavishnu as a Vamana goes to there and asks Bali for 3 feet of land. With one foot he covers the entire earth, another foot he covers the entire Akasha. How is it possible? It is possible because of this Mahima Siddhi. And similarly, there are other siddhis like Garima Siddhi. Garima Siddhi is when you become too heavy. This you can see in Mahabharata with Lord Krishna, when one of the demons called Thrunavarta, he becomes like a gale and starts lifting the young Krishna, infant Krishna, and Krishna displays this Garima Siddhi, becomes too big, very heavy, so that he cannot carry him, and ultimately succumbs to him. So similarly, Lakhima is you become very light, extremely light. This is opposed to the Garima. So you hear one of the interesting stories about one of the devotees, one of the disciples of Adi Shankara called Padmapadacharya. Once this disciple is across the river and Shankara asks him to come. When he doesn't see that there is a river, with a single minded devotion to the Guru, he starts walking and he does not sink because the Padma lotuses appear in the river so that he walks on them. How does he walk, such a 70 kgs man? Because he becomes extremely light, and that Siddhi is called as the Lakima Siddhi. Then there is another, fifth one is called Prapti Siddhi. Prapti Siddhi is you can get and handle anything with even the tip of your fingers. The typical example is when Sri Krishna lifts the Govardhanagiri on his tip of his little finger for 7 days. That happens because of Prapti Siddhi. Then Prakamya Siddhi. Prakamya Siddhi means this man, you can go to things like wherever you want, or where you can without a physical vehicle, and you can appear at 2-3 points. This we see in the life history of several sages and avatars. Then Ishitvam means that you get supremacy over everything. That is what you see in several people like Paramahamsas, Avadhutas, Maharishis and Avataras. And Vashitvam is you, the one who get a absolute control on your sensory and motor system and mind, so that we all worldly people work under them, whereas the one who gets Vasitva Siddhi keeps them under perfect control, all the sensory organs as well as motor organs. So these are, each one of Siddhi is conferred by a Devata. They are called Siddhi Devatas. They are in the periphery of Sri Chakra. As I said in the beginning, one of the messages of this is, don't get carried away by these siddhis when you are doing sadhana, and focus on Bhagavati so that you get Sayujya Mukti and get the Aishwarya even much above the Ishvara himself, and you become imperishable at the great deluge also.